Okay, we are live now. Welcome to Ask Me Anything Sunday night show. This is the 25th week I'm doing this. Now, the idea here is very simple. Every Sunday night, I'll come up live here to really discuss with you anything about Facebook advertising, but mainly to answer your questions. So if you're watching the replay, remember, type your questions away in the comment section because I will actually pick them up and answer your questions in the future AMA. So I'm committed to do this on a weekly basis. I think you already know up to now. It's already my 25th week doing this thing. So yeah, so if this is the first time we meet each other, thank you so much for tuning in and thank you so much for watching this video on my YouTube channel or on my Facebook group. Now, the idea here is very simple. You see, if this is the first time we meet, my name is Jason. I've been doing Facebook ads for the past 11 years. I actually effectively 12, I started my first campaign in 2009. So at that point of time, I was still working for my previous employer. So that's my first glimpse into Facebook advertising. And trust me, Facebook ads back then was really, really crappy and so primitive. So many things you can't do. However, the cost was really cheap. That's what I really want to say about the past. So over the years, in the past 11, I started my agency in 2010. That's why over the years, I've helped over 200 plus brands in terms of navigating success on Facebook advertising as well as digital marketing. At one point of time, I was doing also like a bit of a web design, some development works, and then I started to really focus on Facebook advertising since 2015. So so 2015 onwards, all the while we are only doing Facebook advertising campaign for our clients. So 200 plus brands, we have actually managed close to tens of, I wouldn't know actually how many already. I think tens of thousands of campaigns. I think that's easily there. And then I have managed and coached close to, tens of million in Facebook ad spend. If you don't know that I'm actually a Facebook Blueprint certified professional, which is a certification that you need to stay certified every year by taking the exam again. So whatever I'm sharing with you over here are safely certified by Facebook. And also, I'm also a Facebook Blueprint, Facebook preferred marketing partner, which occasionally we will be actually getting a lot of our first-hand updates from Facebook regarding whatever things changing in Facebook advertising as well as the business side of it. So, so that's a bit of my credibility. Oh, I started teaching in 2016. I started teaching in 2016. In fact, now we are almost 100% on coaching and training right now because I find a lot more satisfaction on this. And when I'm able to work with more people, not just from Malaysia, but from all around the world, I actually I was given more opportunity to learn and explore because, to be frank, the cases that I receive right now is way more compared to the cases that I actually have to go through when I was running an agency. So the beauty of whatever I do right now is even though I'm no longer managing campaign effectively, I'm actually able to keep my pulse on the development a lot more effectively because of my community. Because they will always come back to me and say that, hey, Jason, this is changing, or that is not the same anymore, On top of that, they will also share with me some movement in terms of behavior shift, some even cost shift and all these kind of things. It's a very interesting community that I have right now, which I'm really, really grateful for. So currently, I'm very deeply rooted in the ASEAN region, like, countries like Malaysia, Singapore, Philippines, Indonesia, Thailand. The Southeast Asia region is really my forte. However, I also work with audiences from over 40 over countries at the moment. Yeah, so that's the beauty of it, right? So yeah, I just want to quickly go over to look at some of the questions that you have posted. However, do not hesitate to post your questions because I don't have a lot of questions today, so I'm just going to like chit chat a little bit. I hope that I can get a little bit more questions from you because that's what I do, right? On Sunday night, it's chill. Then tomorrow is Monday, and in a lot of places we are not able to go anywhere. It's kind of like a full lockdown. I wouldn't say it's a full lockdown. I hope everybody wherever you're from, right, stay safe, right? Because we are in this war together. I just hope that one day, hopefully soon, we are able to get back to normal life again. But while everything is going on at the moment, you really have to think about a better way of sustaining a business. So that is also a reason why I recently started to talk a bit about business, together with my friend Chun Yen. Like Friday, we had a live session discussing about business challenges. So yeah, I mean, because I realize a lot of businesses are in one way or another. In fact, all businesses are facing challenges all the time. I think that's my opinion. However, you know, sometimes, right, when you're in the challenge itself, you may not be able to see the clear. I mean, see more. I mean, you may not be able to have a clearer picture about the options that you have. You know, what are the things that you can do? What are the you know, so-called options that you can have in order to make in making decisions, for example. So I realize the more people you talk to, the more people you share this to, you know, the more open up you can become. And you know, by bouncing ideas, you get a lot more clarity on the problem that you're solving, and you'll be able to solve the problem together as a, you know, as collectively. So I realized I am actually in a position to actually serve as a beacon to really bring together businesses to come to a place where we can, you know, share more things together. I believe there are a lot of business owners out there, whether you're a big company or you're like solopreneurs, all fine. You know, I've been through, you know, solo entrepreneurship during my beginning stage, and I actually grown my team to like 10 plus people. And I decided that, look, that's not the angle that I want. You see, not every business needs to go big, in my opinion. I mean, scaling, when I was discussing with with Chunyan, my friend, you know, we agreed that scaling not necessarily mean that you need to grow your company in terms of the number of employees or the number of sales that you're doing and all this kind of thing. By, you know, sometimes scaling could be deepening, in my opinion, like, or changing the process of doing. Like, for example, I recently deploy a lot of scaling mechanism in my business, even with the same number of so-called team members that I have in the team. But the way I scale is I actually, you know, either I deepen the thing or I actually, you know, work with more people. And the other way of scaling, in my opinion, is how can we do things more effectively by achieving the same or better result by doing lesser. You know, that's what I am also exploring. So that's why if you're facing any challenge, to be very frank, you know, I would totally welcome you to drop me a message. You see, sometimes in business where we may not want to be seen as we are having this trouble and all this kind of thing, of course, you know, you have your team, you probably have to take care of certain things. But if you want to have a private conversation, you can drop me a message about the challenge that you're facing. And what I'll do is the same, you know, occasionally when I do, because we started another so-called live show, but we haven't fixed the date or when we're going to do this, how often we're going to do this. But Biz Talk is basically on that angle. All right. So as you already know, if you're not sure, then let me tell you, I have three shows at the moment. In fact, 4. But okay, let me go through. Sometimes people find me confusing. Like, Jason, I see you everywhere, every day. You know, that kind of thing. Like, okay. Now, Ask Me Anything Sunday night show is one of them, whereby I go live every Sunday night for half an hour over here on YouTube channel as well as on my Facebook group. So, okay, basically the idea here is very simple, where I will come in and answer your questions about Facebook ads. Now, this is really mainly for Facebook ads and maybe a bit of digital marketing, as long as you have the questions, and I'll be looking at it. So the other one is my 3 Marketer show. Now, 3 Marketer show happens every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. So what we do is, me and my 2 good friends, Andrew and Manfred, okay, 3 of us are going to, you know, are usually, I mean, it's already like 35 episodes already. We've been doing this for more than 8 months. So what we do is every Wednesday night at 10 p.m., we will go live to talk about anything digital for an hour. So anything digital, as in, like, we may be bringing guests. In fact, most of the time we have our guests. Okay, we invite guests from different industry, from different expertise, right, to share with us whatever they are. They got to offer, whatever experience that they have. Like last week, we had somebody from Singapore, Krishna. Oh, that guy. Can you imagine a guy who actually kind of like managed campaigns in 10 plus media, including offline media and online media? So that guy is really good in terms of metrics, in terms of, you know, framework formulation. And at one point, we had somebody come in and talk about Instagram, you know, people talk about LinkedIn and all this kind of thing. That's what we do. So that's kind of like, you know, something that I wanted to work together with my friends and the experts in the industry to really collectively we can, in a way, we can help more people to get certain things fixed in their head. Because a lot of times, right, like I said, you do not know what you do not know. So a lot of times It's our job, I believe, it's our job to really inspire or help the industry at least to get a little bit more clarity about, you know, the digital marketing and Facebook advertising or whatnot, you know, within the same for so-called like, you know, collectively as a group. So that's the 3 Marketing Show. And on top of that, I also have this Jason and Friend. So Jason and Friend is also an occasional live session where occasionally I will bring together a very specific expert from a very specific niche. Like we had Balkis talking about how to do Instagram right. So that's a half an hour session where Balkis came in and answered a few questions regarding Instagram. So the other time we had Xander to come in to talk about, you know, Xander is crazy good about Canva design. So that's the thing that we had. So Jason and Friend, I think so far we have done this about 4 or 5 times, not too bad. And the latest one was the Biz Talk. Now, Biz Talk, effectively, you know, it's going to be like Chunyan and I will be the host for the show. So the idea here is, you know, we want to really, you know, we want to be the beacon over here. I'm not saying that we are the best business owner or the whatever business strategies around, but what I'm trying to say here is that we have done our business in one way. Okay, so basically what we're going to do here is we want to really come in and discuss different topics to help more people discover, you know, whatever they need to learn about business development. Because to be frank, I personally went through about 20 business ventures in my entire career. And I've worked with 200 plus businesses. A lot of them are, you know, established one and even startups. So I've actually been through quite a number of, I would say quite a number of business models and business framework. So often than not, right, whatever framework that you're actually exploring, I probably have actually experienced it in one way or another. I probably can give you a little bit of a, you know, suggestion about what to avoid. You know, I always like to tell people, I think the most valuable of my experience will be my failures. I wouldn't call them failures, but the learning ones. But some of them are actually very painful ones. But nonetheless, the way I look at it right now is, you know, these are all part and parcel of the journey to put me to where I am today. So I think with all this experience, I'm actually able to offer a lot more so-called suggestions to you guys. So if you are a business owner and you're facing any challenge right now, you want us to discuss about your challenge and to give you some idea or some suggestions, drop me a PM, you know, drop me a message. If you don't feel comfortable asking them in the public right now and whatnot, drop me a PM, you know, and I would actually, whenever we go live again on the Beast Talk, that's my 4th live show, then we will do that again. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't expect, I didn't see myself doing this kind of thing 1 year ago, but I would say, I think I enjoyed the change that the so-called the pandemic brought me. So ultimately, I think it was a very good learning that I had in the past 1 year. It definitely accelerated the process of achieving what I wanted to do, you know, and I'm really grateful for the change. And of course, a lot of people came along the way in my journey to help me. So I want to do my little part to help you now. So yeah. Okay, so let's see. I have a few questions coming in from here. Now, first one, we have Tony. What's up, Tony? You're watching this on YouTube. Okay, now I would suggest that you go to my Facebook. You go to Facebook, my Facebook page. You look for Jason Gunn with the same face over here, and you drop me a message on Facebook. So I'll be able to look at that. Okay, so because you're asking me where to PM, right? So yeah, over there. So Tony, you say you got 400 landing page view, but no initial checkout. Can you analyze my LP? What is LP? Sorry, with all these short forms and all that, I don't understand maybe a bit of a things here. What is LP? Landing page. Okay. Oh yeah, landing page. Okay, I wouldn't. Okay, if you want to do this, then you can drop me a message. I can. I have one-to-one coaching session where I can actually, you know, you can purchase for a session where we can go over that. But effectively, yeah, I won't be able to do this over here to answer a question on this landing page thing. But nonetheless, drop me a message that we can get in touch. Tony, thank you. Now, okay, I have a few questions that was asked by my YouTube followers or my Facebook group followers. So I'm just going to quickly bring it up. Now, that's the thing that we have here. So the first question I have is from Bing Tot TV. What's up, Bing Tot TV? I'm not sure whether I pronounced all this thing right. Anyway, now Bing Tot TV is saying you have got 72,500 followers. Where? On Facebook? and no one likes or share your post, since you have accidentally switched back to classic. Now, I don't understand what is classic over here, but nonetheless, I would say probably it's the page version and whatnot. Now, let me tell you this. Whether you switch to classic or switch to future or modern or whatever version is that, right? You're not going to get a lot of meaningful likes and shares on your posts anymore, unless you have been really doing well in terms of nurturing your audiences. Why? Let me tell you this thing. I'm not sure when are you comparing this current situation to, but Facebook has been really lowering the organic reach of business pages, in the recent years. So the reason why they want to do this is very simple. You see, I always like to tell people that, look, when you're looking at Facebook, you need to look at Facebook as a social network. Now, although we all know that Facebook makes money from the advertisement, but essentially, why do people come to Facebook? You have to understand from this angle. Why do people come to Facebook? You come to Facebook to network. You come to Facebook to see what your friends eat for lunch, where your friends go for vacation, though we can't do that anymore. But yeah, that's why we are here on Facebook. You just imagine if one day Facebook really allow a lot of business posters coming into your newsfeed, right? What will you feel? You feel, wow, Facebook is boring. This is really nonsense. I don't want to come back anymore. This is crap. So when this kind of feeling kicks in among most of the users, what will happen to Facebook? Definitely, they will have lower traffic. At the same time, what will be affected? Their ads revenue, because they need to make sure that you keep coming back to Facebook. So how do they make sure that you keep coming back to Facebook? They introduce this thing called the newsfeed algorithm. Now, newsfeed algorithm is effectively an AI, artificial intelligence algorithm that is relentless, working in the background to study your browsing pattern. So they were always constantly collecting data about what kind of posters you are likely to interact with or you're interested in, what kind of posters they are not likely to interact with. So basically, they will always surface profiles over pages, and even pages, just let me give you this thing. Even though a person like your Facebook page, now when I like your Facebook page, okay, what will happen is in the first few days, I'll probably see a lot more posters coming from your page. Even some old posters may appear, because when I like your page, the newsfeed algorithm picks up this as a so-called a signal that I'm interested in your page. However, when all these posters appear in my newsfeed and I don't interact with any one of them, effectively, Facebook will start labeling me as not interested in you anymore. So over time, this is why your page don't have a lot of engagement or shares or whatever, because in a way, I would say that first, it's because of the newsfeed algorithm. The second thing is because of the content. You see, a lot of people, this is really a little bit of a shift over here. Since we're here, we don't have a lot of questions. I don't mind digging a little bit deeper. Now, a lot of pages or a lot of businesses, the way they craft their content or the angle of how they actually create their posters or Facebook page, Facebook content is very much trying to nurture on the very surface thing, meaning that they craft the content for new people, meaning that they are trying to introduce their product in a very surface way to try to get those people who might be interested in them to come in. But they actually misunderstood one very important thing. When you're posting something on your Facebook page and if you don't run ads, who are the people who might be seeing your post? Actually, are those people? Those people who already like your page are likely to see your post. So when you are crafting a lot of content for, let's say, a very introductory kind of content for those who are new to your business, then you're doing this thing entirely wrong, because most people, those who are likely to see your post are those who already like your page. Then you have to think from the other angle is, what are they expecting from you? You get what I mean? So when you are crafting your content, you should focus on nurturing those who already like your page instead of trying to veer attention from those who are new to your business. So the moment you switch the angle, right, somehow or other you'll be able to see better organic reach coming in. That I can guarantee you. But it takes a little bit of thinking. Then definitely you have to try to focus on the warm ones instead of those strangers. So yeah, this is a bit about the newsfeed algorithm and Facebook page, so-called likes and shares and all that. But anyway, yeah, thanks for the question, Bing.TV. Now the other one is from Junior Gomez. Okay, now you're asking about Facebook advertising for Shopee store. Cool. How do you target Shopee users specifically? I was looking for Shopee as interest, but couldn't find Shopee On the other hand, there is an interest of Lazada, yes. And you want to target Shopee users only in order to avoid showing the ads to users not having Shopee account, which most likely you won't buy in your Shopee store. Okay, I understand your questions and I understand your train of thoughts. I would say, let's agree to disagree. First thing first, in terms of the interest of Shopee doesn't mean that they are Shopee so-called installers. Even the way you look at it now, you found Lazada, doesn't mean that they have installed Lazada app in their phone. So this is not how the whole thing works. Unless you're able to really wire up with the Shopee or Lazada SDK, then you'll be able to draw effective data to really exclude those people who have installed the app. Technically, you're not able to do this. So whatever scenario that you're trying to illustrate here can never happen. And it's not valid. So I would say, let's not think from this angle, because to be frank, you're actually putting a lot of so-called your own mind blocks over here. You are assuming that people without a Shopee app wouldn't buy from your store. But the thing here is this is really not something that you can control, first thing first, because it is Shopee's job to make sure that a lot more people install their app. However, you won't be able to actually retarget these people. You won't be able to effectively target app installers. Nonetheless, the other way we look at this here is this: what makes you so not confident on your product? You know, you should have confidence on your offer, because you see, here's the thing. When a person click on your ad, that is already intent, if you agree with me. Meaning that if I'm not interested in your product or services or even the pricing that you're trying to sell this product at, why would I click? When I click, that means I'm interested. So if I don't have Shopee's app, Shopee effectively, if everything is done right, you know, they will bring the audience to a web version. So when they look at the web version, then you know they can either try to log in, even though they don't have the app. If they do have the app, then of course it will bring them to the app itself. So like I say, this is not something that you can control. So let's not think that way. I would say, let's not put this block in our head right now. Instead, let's focus on making our product good, making our offer good. You know, try to make sure that we are actually getting the right intent to go over. And you need to work on the landing page as well, because that's another angle. Because if your offer, I mean, your ad is good, but when it comes to your landing page, you don't have the good so-called Shopee store optimization, you don't have a good image, you don't have a good write-up, and somehow or other you don't instill that kind of so-called trust factor, or you know, the confidence in your product or your store, and you're not going to close the sales. There are many angles, put it this way, my friend. Okay, and whether they have installed Shopee app or not, that's something, you know, probably one of the lowest ranked concern that you should be looking at. Yeah, so that's what I think. Nonetheless, thanks for your question, Gomez. Now let's come back to the page over here now. Okay, I don't see any more questions coming from you. I guess it's Sunday night, and probably a lot of people are preparing for whatever, because I was told that we're gonna have a more strict up, you know, kind of like SOP on Tuesday onwards. So if you're preparing and whatnot, go ahead and do whatever. And remember, although we don't have many questions, we're gonna end early today, but doesn't mean that we're gonna shortchange our future session. So post your questions anyway, and remember to stay tuned on my YouTube channel. Remember to hit the subscribe button, or to follow me on my, you know, it's Facebook page or my Facebook group. And then I'll see you next week, same time at 10 p.m. to go over your questions. All right, so that's all we have for today. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you next week on same time on Sunday night at 10 p.m. to answer your questions about Facebook ads. And I look forward to see your questions. Thank you. Good night. Bye.